everyone, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the GSMC Sports Network, so make sure you guys come and check out the best wrestling podcast in the biz. I'm just kidding. No. Well, no, it's good. It's good. I just don't want to come off as, super cocky here, because there's a lot of good wrestling, streamers out there. It's, pretty badass, getting to kind of pay your respects. But yeah, let's go and move on to our next segment. We got WWE possibly starting a Women's Evolution 2. I feel like it would be great. Absolutely. You have all the talent right now. Basically, this is the best generation of women's wrestling. I'm not trying to sound like I don't appreciate, the early, women's wrestling or the Divas, era as well. But I just, I don't know. I feel like right now it would be a perfect time to it would be a huge star-studded pay-per-view. I personally think it'd be nice to kind of start it off in, it'd be kind of cool to have it sometime in maybe after, because you do have SummerSlam and then you do have Survivor Series. So that's August and November. Maybe there's a little slot right there where you could possibly, fit it in maybe in September. But, this could be a pay-per-view all by itself. This does not necessarily mean that the women aren't going to fight on other PLEs. Having a Women's Evolution 2 so they can showcase all the young talented women in WWE I feel like it'd be spectacular. I definitely think 1,010%. We had the WWE Evolution, the first one ever, ultimately took place October 28th of 2018, which featured a match card of 7 with Ronda Rousey defeating Nikki Bella for the Raw Women's Championship, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I was definitely not a huge fan of, but they weren't, Ronda wasn't going to drop the belt, to a part-timer. As of right now, she was a part-timer back in 2018. As of Nikki Bella, but during that match you saw just Nikki Bella being flung around a lot, mostly alluding to the fact that I feel like Ronda Rousey, she's talented, yeah, I do agree that 1,010%, but I feel like she was too UFC for the WWE, if that makes sense. But then again, that could have been, WWE's fault as well. Ronda Rousey claimed in an interview that when it came to WWE prepping for women's matches, it was basically like, 5 minutes and done, when they would give the men 10, 20 minutes and then, kind of think of it thoroughly. But Ronda Rousey definitely should have started sometime in NXT. But, I guess, I understand what Vince and Triple H was ultimately trying to do with Ronda Rousey. She was a huge face in the UFC. Obviously, she kicked ass. She's won, the women's championship there before. Her coming back to WWE was a huge bombshell. Obviously, the fans didn't really buy it. A little later, she kind of fell off a little bit with the fans there. They didn't really want to accept Ronda Rousey. But, I don't know. I feel like I said before, there's so much talented young women in the WWE right now. And now we have 7 women's titles that could be defended at this PLE. We can have somebody taking on, obviously, Tiffany Stratton. This would be like a WrestleMania caliber, event for the women. That would be pretty badass, and it would just be good for overall wrestling. Just imagine like a women's WrestleMania. I feel at this point, they deserve their ultimately overall own PLE here. Because if not, I feel like if you weren't going to continue it or maybe have the possibility, or if you weren't thinking about having a Women's Evolution 2, why would you even have the first one? It'd be kind of just we gave them their own pay-per-view because we appreciate, we love women now. And then now it's kind of on the other side of the coin where you're like, oh, you really love women in your, you gave them their own PLE. Now it seems a little bonk here. I'm just kidding, no. But I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of cool to kind of keep it going. Like I said, it'd be a nice little yearly thing where the WWE Women's Championship would be defended. The Tag Team Women's Championships would be defended. Everybody just defends their title, would be badass. Even NXT would get in the mix. We'd have Julia, the NXT World Champion, take on somebody. We'd, of course, have the United States Championship, as of right now being held by Chelsea Green. We'd have the Women's World Heavyweight Championship held by Rhea Ripley. We'd have Fallon Henley. As of right now, I'm not loving her chances against Stephanie Vaquer coming this weekend. But, we'd have the Women's North American Championship. We would just have championships, the Women's Intercontinental Championship as well. And just think about it. Like, you can have like a nice little tournament, you know, where you kind of get all the young rising stars from WWE NIL, from WWE ID, from Evolve. Also, you can have some people from the LFG. You know, it'd be nice little, you know, and the finals would be held, and then the winner of that match would get I think the NXT. I don't think they would ever make. It'd be kind of stupid if they made a jump to Raw and SmackDown right away, but they'd come to NXT. You know, they'd get a contract right then and there. You know, a nice little, have a nice little, accomplishment medal or trophy, however you want to do it. But I feel like that'd be pretty badass. I would love to see that. That'd be super damn cool. So yeah. Bayley, obviously, she had something to say. She mentioned it in an interview. She said this, and I quote, "We have more girls now more than ever. We can have a freaking back-to-back 2-night show. Kind of like if we wanted to, like a WrestleMania, stuff like that." She also said this, "There are so many girls, so many at NXT. We got this TNA partnership, and we got two new titles," which she's not wrong about. You know, we had WWE, NXT, and TNA Wrestling kind of merge a little bit. And, we can also see the Knockouts Championship be defended there too. You know, and we can also have the Knockouts Tag Team Championships be, defended. All in all, I feel like it'd be a great spot to have another Women's Evolution too, where you would, like I said before, like a huge spectacle, like a WrestleMania caliber, pay-per-view like a PLE would be pretty badass. You know, a lot of gifted individuals, a lot, and then you can also bring in some legends. You can bring in like a nice little, nostalgia. Maybe Trish Stratus comes back to wrestle for a little bit. Maybe the Bella Twins make their way back to WWE to challenge for those Women's World Tag Team Championships. Maybe you can have, a nice little, just a pay-per-view to appreciate all the women. Because as of right now, they made one, and it was back in 2018. Like I said before, if you're gonna just have one, pay-per-view, be like, oh, cool, appreciate the women. I feel like you gotta keep it going, man. You gotta keep it going. This could be like a nice little yearly thing. Appreciate the women. I'm not saying that they don't in WWE as of right now. I definitely feel like when Triple H and Shawn took over, they are starting to invest in a lot more talented women, because women's wrestling back in the day, it's always been a second thought. It's always been a second thought on the match card. You'd get maybe like if they're lucky, 5 minutes, a nice little 7-minute match. But now it seems like they're main stage. Now it seems like they're main eventers. Now they seem like part of the reason why people watch professional wrestling at this moment, especially why you sometimes, most of the time people tune in NXT. NXT, the women's division rocks there, and they anchor the whole entire show. There's more women's matches than men's matches. Obviously not the case right now on SmackDown or on Monday Night Raw, but I like it. I would definitely love to see like a women's evolution thing with all the titles which they would never do that. With all those titles I mentioned, with the finalists between the tournament, that would be a total of 10 matches. That'd be a total of 10 matches, which is not ideal. I get it. You know what I mean? But it'd be so freaking cool, man. I would love it. I feel like it'd be pretty badass. Definitely gotta throw some respect toward Bayley there, who's gonna be at the NBA Celebrity Game, and hopefully she'll be dropping threes, man, like her idol Steph Curry. That'd be pretty badass. All right, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast and the GSMC Sports Network, where we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010%. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok for more content and updates. Make sure you guys check out all the other shows that we have here on the network, filled with amazing, gifted podcasters who have one goal in mind: to make sure you guys consume all the amazing sports content that you guys love so damn much. And guess what? It is absolutely FREE free. So just subscribe and like, make your life easier, and be a part of this amazing bloodline that we have here on the GSMC Sports Network. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.